Well, started Convergence because there was a need for a new level of problem solving in the United States. I've had long experience in Washington, and there are many people of great decency who really want to solve problems, and they have no place to really talk to each other, build trust, and get beyond the surface differences they have.
The question is, are there other ways to create change than each of us pushing our own agenda as hard as we can? Gridlock is a tough problem, and there are at least 5 reasons why it's tough. And you see this on television. Powerful interest groups and the political candidates they support are often locked in hardline positions and demonize each other. Most of these groups believe that for their side to win, the other side has to lose. Fighting is easier than cooperating. Cooperating takes things like listening and patience and consensus, and that feels harder. And for the media, it sometimes can add fuel to the fire, exaggerating conflict to boost ratings or hyping opposing views to look balanced. And 5, it's really hard for you and I, the public, you and I, to mobilize in a way that can put pressure on these groups to fight less and cooperate more.
You know, there's a lot of social science literature already about the power of relationships. That's what allows people to make shifts in their perceptions. If you're just arguing over the phone, if you're over the phone, you can't make eye contact, you can't really know a person deeply. If you know a person deeply, you may still disagree, but it opens the opportunity to see them as a full human being, not just as some position or some cardboard cutout of a particular point of view. And once you know them as a human being, I think your heart opens and there's opportunities then to find common ground you wouldn't otherwise find.
Not say enough about the process that Convergence used and what it highlighted for me. A success loop that starts with the quality of the relationships. And when you focus on building the quality of the relationships, then what increases is the quality of the kinds of conversations that you have. And we saw that as we began to build those relationships, we saw that the quality of the conversations then begin to go up. And when you improve the quality of your conversations, then you will improve the quality of your decision making. And when you improve the quality of your decision making, then you improve the quality of results.
The thing that I really like about Convergence is that in this particular climate, when there's so much polarization, it seeks to bring people together who differ, who have different perspectives, different backgrounds, come from different ethnic groups, different political persuasions, and gather them around a common table and seek innovative solutions for some of the pressing problems that impact us as a society.
I think what Convergence does is it has a unique blend of individuals who represent very diverse methods of thinking around complex national policy issues.
It's really an inspirational organization. The fact that there is no answer at the outset. So it's really this whole process of learning by doing.
We all can see why the Convergence approach is an absolutely kind of critical way of making progress when progress has eluded us in the past.
Today we invite you to take a breather, to listen to a group of people who came together around a big problem, came with different experiences and points of view, who decided to work collaboratively to see if they could find common ground and hammer out a practical approach to this complex problem of long-term services and supports.
simply, it's harder to ignore a vision and a set of ideas that come from such a diverse set of perspectives and that have credibility then with a variety of actors and a variety of constituents. I spent a bunch of years in big philanthropy, worked for a big national foundation, and I realized when we would spend all this time trying to assess our impact, that ultimately, sometimes you didn't get the program impacts you wanted, but if the work involved, as it inevitably did, bringing people together and investing in their ability to learn, to discuss, to create, that yielded dividends beyond the life of your individual project. I really think that the convergence process and the way that you work is putting this way of thinking and this vision building into people.
What's happened is so many other people have gotten involved, dozens if not hundreds of people now, and they've expanded the vision and they've created new opportunities beyond what I could have imagined to begin with. But the central tenets of what we saw in the beginning are playing out. That if you create places where people of decency can actually get to know each other and talk and work out their differences, you have an opportunity to make a difference that goes beyond the normal conventional wisdom about whether people can get along or not.